Respected Chief Guest, Sri Chetan Maini, students, parents, guests, faculty colleagues and staff, a very good evening to all of you. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the Departmental Degree Distribution Program 2021 of the Department of Engineering Design. I would like to extend a special welcome to Sri Chetan Maini to this function and thank him for accepting our invitation despite his busy schedules as the co-founder and vice chairman of Sun Mobility. We are honored to have Sri Chetan as the chief guest for this function. It would be difficult to find a better role model for our students than this young and energetic leader, and it is their privilege to listen to him today. Established in the year 2006, the Department of Engineering Design at IIT Madras is the first of its kind in India, offering undergraduate engineering design program. Engineering design is a series of steps that engineers follow in coming up with a solution to a problem. Many times, the solution involves designing a product that meets certain criteria and accomplishes a certain task. Students are trained not only in the mechanical aspects of design, but also in electronics, control and embedded systems for all-round skill development. The mission of the program is to make IIT Madras a global center of excellence in engineering design. The vision and leadership provided by the previous head of the departments, Professor Krishna Kumar, Professor Nilesh Vasa, Professor Srikant Vedantam, and the support provided by the faculty and staff help the department to reach better heights in terms of teaching, research and entrepreneurship. Currently, we have 339 dual degree students, 51 MS students and 105 PhD students and 4 postdoctoral fellows. We have 18 regular faculty, 13 adjunct faculty and 4 professors of practice currently. Faculty are supported by 9 technical staff and 2 administrative staff. In this D3P, we will be awarding 59 dual degrees, 2 MS and 7 PhD degrees. I take this opportunity to present the annual report of the Department of Engineering Design and highlight the achievements of the students, staff and faculty during the academic year 2020-21. Academic achievements. A first of its kind in India, the department provides the much needed leadership in engineering design with 2 novel dual degree programs. Both programs offer a BTech in engineering design and an MTech specialization in automotive engineering and biomedical design. In 2018, robotics was added as the 3rd specialization, making it possible for the ED students to opt for the interdisciplinary dual degree program. Also, we introduced an undergraduate robotics laboratory course for the IDDD students. Another IDDD specialization in electric vehicles will be offered from July 2022 onwards. ED students performed very well in academics and were rewarded for their achievements. Akash Mitra was awarded Prema and Nagaraj Sethi Prize and Raghuram VC was awarded KC Gobinath and Palpini Gobinath Prize. Ms. Divya Bhaskaran, PhD student, has been selected for the Sitare Gaiti Appreciation Awards 2021. Research. 2020-21 was reasonably good year in terms of academic research. ED faculty published 61 international and national journal papers, an average of 2.5 papers per faculty. 16 international conference papers and 3 national conference papers were also published. Department added research equipment worth more than 80 lakhs to the existing infrastructure in the current year. Notable procurements were 6 and 7 degrees of freedom, lightweight collaborative robots and Omni Haptics bundle. Department received a generous donation from Mr. V.M. Thomas, an IITM alumnus, and we have established the V.M. Thomas Robotics Research and Teaching Laboratory. ED faculty were very active in sponsored and consultancy projects. Projects worth 392.26 lakhs were sanctioned during the last year. The total value of ongoing sponsored and consultancy projects in the department is around 40 crores. Engineering design faculty won many national and international laurels for their research contributions. Professor Shankar Ram was awarded the V. Ramamurthy Faculty Fellowship. Dr. Soma Guhatakarta, adjunct faculty, was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award 2021 by the Indian Association of Cardiothoracic Surgeons. Dr. Sharvana Kumar G was selected for the IIT Madras chapter Best Researcher Award for age category 40 to 50. Professor Shankar Ram, along with his students and co-authors, won the Arthur M. Wellington Awards. Mr. Venu Srinivasan, Professor of Practice, was awarded the Deming Distinguished Service Awards. ED faculty published 3 books in the last year. Professor Tuhin Sandra published books on nanomaterials and their biomedical applications, single cell analysis, microfluidics and bio-NEMS devices and applications. Research scholars also performed very well during the period of the reports. 10 research scholars presented papers in international conferences abroad. Patents and startups. ED has been highly successful in the past years in filing patents, and this continued in the current year also. 15 new patents were filed by faculty along with their students. Professor Ashokan, Professor Nilesh Vasa, Professor Jayakandan, Professor Kaita Arunachalam and Professor Tuhin filed patent applications for their inventions. 1 new PCT application was also filed. 9 patents were awarded in this year for the inventions. Professor Balakrishna Rao, Professor Srikant Vedandam, Professor Palaniappan Ramu, Professor Sharvana Kumar, Professor Sandeepan Bandyopadhyay and Professor Venkatesh Balasubramaniam got their patents awarded in this year. Engineering design has been very successful in terms of student startups. The application focused curriculum and the rigorous academic training in the department often leads to many new ideas and products. In the last few years, a good number of startup industries have emerged from the department. Messrs. Aether Energy, founded by Tarun Mehta and Swapnil Jain, student from 2006-2011 batch, is one of the most successful startups from ED. Shira Medtech, Ghost Vision, Predible Health and Terroro Mobility are some of the other startups, to name a few. Industry interaction. ED faculty have been very active in engaging with industry for research and training. Professor Venkatesh Balasubramaniam conducted 2 workshops during 2021. One on data-driven approach to road safety and another on design thinking and lean ergonomics for manufacturing excellence. Administrative and technical staff provided the much required support to the faculty and students in the academic and research activities. Their contributions are thankfully acknowledged here. The last 15 years have been very promising for the department. Taking the learnings from this and understanding the challenges ahead, we are looking forward to much more active and productive years ahead. Towards this, some new initiatives have been introduced in the department. A department advisory panel has been formed to advise the department on academic and research activities. The panel consists of eminent experts from industry and academia as well as alumni. The first meeting of the panel was held on 9th November 2019 and the second meeting of the panel was held in September 2020. With the help from the panel, a vision document, Vision 2030, has been prepared. To improve the interaction with the students and have better communication, batch advisors have been nominated for all the batches of ED students. This is in addition to the faculty advisors. The batch advisors will meet the students at regular intervals. Department has received generous donation from IITM alumnus Mr. Mahesh Wagle founder and CEO of Cybernetics, for innovation of product design display room, which is under progress now. I take this opportunity to thank our director, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, for providing us the essential leadership and guidance. On behalf of the department, I thank the IIT administration, deans, other heads of departments and engineering units for their active support. We look forward to a much more productive year ahead. With this, I once again welcome all of you to this function and hope you will have an enjoyable and memorable event to cherish. Thank you. Dear graduates, now I have the pleasure of introducing our chief guest to all of you. Mr. Chetan Maini is the co-founder and chairman of Sun Mobility. As an entrepreneur and technologist for 20 plus years, Chetan Maini's lifelong mission has been to create products and solutions to deepen the adoption of clean and sustainable mobility. Having invented the Reva in 1999, an electric vehicle much ahead of its time, he is globally acknowledged as a pioneer in the electric vehicle space. Chetan has spent over 2 decades working with electric, hybrid and solar vehicles in USA and India and holds over 30 global patents. Taking forward his relentless passion for transformative mobility run on renewable energy, Chetan and Uday Khemka of Sun New Energy Systems, a clean energy market leader, set up Sun Mobility in April 2017. Chetan has an undergraduate degree in mechanical engineering from University of Michigan and had his higher education at Stanford University and Harvard University. An authority and visionary on electric vehicles, he has served on a number of government boards set up to frame EV policies. Chetan has also received several awards and recognitions for his pioneering work. Some of these awards include the BBC Top Gear Man of the Year Award, the Innovation Award in Energy and Environment by The Economist in London, ET Auto Gap's Innovator of the Year Award, and the Frost & Sullivan India Startups Visionary Innovation Leadership Awards. Now I request Mr. Chetan to address the graduates. Thank you.
A very warm welcome to the students, the faculty, parents and guests of a very momentous occasion of the graduation IIT Chennai Department of Mechanical Design on this area. It's an honor for me to be here amongst all of you, and I thought I would share some of my learnings and experiences with you all. Definitely being with you all today brings me back to my college days. And while I was at university, I had a chance to be as part of a solar car team that we raced across the US and then across Australia, and we stood first in the world. We were 20-year-olds, but I think that time in my life taught me some very important, valuable lessons that I even take today with me. The first was we couldn't have done it without a team. The kind of effort that everyone puts together, from engineering to business to even the weather team, to enable something to work when you solve a problem was very, very important as you think of anything that one does in your life. I think the second area was about not to be scared to do something you've never done before. None of us have ever built a vehicle, forget a solar car. And here we are, came together and beat large OEMs, and came right behind Honda in third place in the world. It allowed you to challenge yourself, allowed you to dream, allowed you to look at basic principles in anything that you did in life. And not to say that you need that experience to kind of go and innovate and make new changes on this front. For me, it was always about how to think of challenges and opportunities. And in every challenge, you can look at it as a problem, or you can look at it as, wow, if I actually work as an engineer, I can find a solution to this area. And as engineers, we're wired to find solutions, right? So you look at this problem and really change it to an opportunity of what could be done, how do you innovate? And generally, it would mean that you solve something that hasn't been done before, be it a technical problem or be it a societal issue on this area. It may not be always evident at that point, but when you reflect back, you see that how some of those challenges have actually changed what you've done in life. I remember when we launched Reva a month before, we lost subsidies were removed, and also the taxes for electric vehicles were doubled, and for regular cars had actually come down. It was really a blow, something that you worked so hard for, and then you've got this huge issue coming in of how do you make something successful. But that made us go global. It made us export and go to 24 countries. As I reflect back, we had never been a global company at that point unless we had faced a challenge like this. So in hindsight, if you think about it and you look at these areas, it's often to see the brighter side of any problem that you get. How do you solve it? How do you move forward as you look at this? My father in those days gave me a very important learning, right? I remember when we were very young, trying to get out a product. Always a question was, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it happen. No one else has done it in India, and you get a lot of criticism. But if one could look at the reason behind the criticism and see what you can learn from it, you actually change it. Because in that criticism is something that you could learn and do better. And if you have that perspective to see in anyone's voice, in anyone's conversation, anyone's issue, what could be something that you can learn from, your perspective in life completely changes. And that's really helped me in tough times as I've looked at early stages in my journey on this area. Learning has been something that's been very important for me. It's something I enjoy every day. And my, advice to all of you is that you've just come from a university background. You're in that learning mode. Don't ever lose that. Learn something every day new. Expand your horizons. Look at how you can learn a new language, be it in a computer language or not. Learn about business. Learn about anything around life that you have. But continue to do this journey of learning that you started and got a culture as you're in university. And that may change over time. Your focus may change over time as you look at it. Right? In my early days, I always focused on my weaknesses. And if I didn't understand the business, I tried to work with friends who on a weekend who taught me about business. If I didn't know about a certain type of body engineering, I worked with the best body engineers to understand what that meant on this area. Right? Today, as you mature, of course, you work with your strengths to grow a business, but it's about how you balance on which part of what you focus on. I think at early days, it really helps to say, how can you learn and how can you focus on your weaknesses and every day strengthen that over time as you start to grow yourself as a person on this front. Engineering design is something I've been very passionate about, and when I was asked to speak today, this is something extremely close to my heart. Over 27 years ago, I actually graduated in a very similar area of smart product design, mechatronics, and it was the early stages of software, electronics, mechanical systems coming together, which today is mainstream. Everything today has all of these systems coming together. And so there's no better domain to get a good knowledge base to start as you go in your life and go to the next steps of what you'd like to achieve on this area. To me, engineering is problem solvers, right? It's not about a domain, it's about solving a problem that you have and using the tools, which may be electronics, hardware, software, mechanical, all other tools that you may have with you. But it's about solving a problem for society that you can resolve, that you can overcome by using your skills on this area. It's about thinking of problems very differently. We always look at things, can we do it A, or B on this area? Can we make something lighter, or cheaper? But we never put the question to ourselves as and. Can we make it lighter and cheaper? And today's areas of optimization and engineering and problem solutioning needs to bring in the word and a lot more of how you try to look at challenges that are in the economy and putting them together to solve them with intelligent ways of looking at solutions around this area. You are great engineers from one of the top reputed universities, and you can use your skills in many ways. But to me today, the society needs us to give back. It needs the engineers like you to solve big problems that we have today and address them on this front. And so as you choose your career paths and everything, see there are ways that you can look at solving societal problems. You've been given a great gift, you've been given a great university to go to, and can that be translated to creating meaningful impact for India and for the world on global issues that we seem to have, be it climate change or energy security on this area. During my journey, I always found it very helpful, and I was fortunate, to be honest with you, that I found my passion very early in my life. Right? I think once when you find that what ticks with you, it's something that becomes part of you. So the ones who have found it, great, pursue it. The ones who haven't, explore what that is for you. What makes you tick? What makes you go every day, right? And work towards that. But finding something that can help society, I find is a much bigger goal, is a much something to be much more deeply passionate about, and even those tough times to work towards making this happen. It's about giving your best every day. And if I reflect on my journey and someone said, "Oh, if I put how the Reva project looked over the years, and this is what would be when there were 8 to 10 years," I would have probably said, "That's not something I want to do." So I think it's all about looking at what you can do every day. Do your best every day. Take a day at a time on this front, and take your journey in steps, right? And as long as you can do your best, that's all you can give back, and that will probably help you grow and move on in life. So I use the opportunity to congratulate all the students. I also want to thank the parents, the faculty, and the staff to help create the future change makers of India, and wish you all the best in your journey in life. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetan, for that inspiring speech. I am sure that our graduates will be truly influenced by your experiences, and they try their best to excel in their fields. It is time now for the distribution of degrees to all the eligible graduates. Let me start with the award winners. Akash Mitra, interdisciplinary dual degree in robotics with honors. Prema and Nagraj Sethi Prize for dual degree BTech and MTech, student with the best academic record in engineering design. Vismay Agrawal, dual degree in engineering design with honors. Dr. Gobinath and Palpini Gobinath Prize for the student with the best academic record in dual degree automotive engineering stream of engineering design department. Dual degree MTech plus PhD. Mahendra Kennard. Dual degree MS plus PhD. Divya B. Hemalakshmi R. Inian Tiruselvam. Nagamanigandan G. Safir Babu T. Radhika R. Interdisciplinary dual degree. BTech in engineering design, MTech in data science. Dugani Rohit Kumar. Interdisciplinary dual degree, BTech in engineering design, MTech in robotics. T. Shashank. Shet Adharva Rajesh. Varun K. Sairam. Interdisciplinary dual degree, BTech in engineering design, MTech in energy systems. Fadnis Sankalp Pankaj. MS by research. S. Sudhakar. Karthik R. Dual degree, Bosle Shashank Rajendra. Ajit Rendapalli. Ojas Nidin Saraf. G. Subbareddy. Lavanya Deshmukh. Manoj Kumar Khara. Pitta Surya. Sahil. Varun Martin M. A. Amrit Rangan, Akshat Garg, Ankur Tiwari, Anshul Goyal, Aryan Yadav, Bharat Jayaprakash, Dhruv Gajwa, Fayaz Mohammad KM, Ghanta Narasimha Sai Varun, Hanu Siddhant Rapeti, Rishikesh E.M., Koduri Sai Utej, Kulkarni Ganesh Shivaji Rao, Neeraj Babu, Perikala Vivek Sai, Piyush Advani, Pola Ravi Teja, Priyanka Joshi, R. Inian, Rudram Piplad, Sai Prasad Pranav Nadimpalli, Sambit Tarai, Shashwat Sargovi Bacha, Shreyas Shantila, Sindgi Anuj Milind, A.S. Lokesh, Ayush Anand, Aniket Vijay, Dharavat Nagesh Naik, Goti Ankit Vijay Singh, Goguloth Prashant, Jetti Harihara Gautam, Kumud Mittal, M. Lakshna, Madipalli Prithviraj, Mohammad Hisham K, Rajat Vajpayee, Rakshit Bhatt, Shakti Ashwin M, Shafif Omar, Sharmili Pooja N, V.C. Raghuram, Vishal Singh. Congratulations to all the graduates. I invite all of you for a live interaction with our Chief Guest, Mr. Chetan Maini. Thank you.
Happening. So you have entire thermal management, you have pumps, you have entire architecture. Again, you have a combination of mechanical, robotics, electronics, electrical, and software at an embedded level and at a PC level. So almost everything we think of today, needs engineers who have expertise in all these areas, right? Going to vehicle integration, it's the same thing. We look at our docks going in. Each of our docks has a processor in it, hardware, software, special things for thermal management, go to the vehicle level. So there isn't a single thing everything we do in the company has all these skill sets that are needed, right? And I think that this is needed in the entire EV industry. And so you are, in almost any industry today, as we look at transitioning this front. And so I think it's really valuable, the skill set that you have, you're getting here. It gives you a platform. Most important, makes you comfortable with different parts of it. So maybe you have a higher interest in a particular part of hardware or software or mechanical, but you appreciate the other systems much better. And that's very critical as you start to go to design, because honestly, nothing today you can do unless understanding everything. And there's a huge, huge gap today in strong system engineers who can seamlessly understand each areas. And those system engineers can really enable to get the right specs and requirements of products. So anyone is interested, still open, do reach out to us. We'll be happy to we're recruiting a lot. But no, it's a great area to be in, and it's very exciting. And it's something, like I'd mentioned in my talk earlier, that I did 27 years ago. And I understand it's really has helped me personally in my journey as an engineer to seamlessly understand different parts of engineering on this area.
Thank you. Thanks, Chetan, for that very promising response. And I am sure that our students will look forward to meeting you and then looking for or exploring the opportunities. That's great. Yeah. So, Sai Prasad, Pranav, you would like to say something?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chetan. Sir, that was a really thought-provoking response. I think I would just I'd just like to share that it has been a really incredible 5 years. I've met some truly I've met some people who I was truly in awe, people who I learned so much from, people who at times made me think of the quote that always surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. And I remember learning so much through osmosis simply on campus. And only when I came out of campus did I realize the incredible learning opportunities that we had and the kind of environment that was present on campus, where I would just go to the CAD lab in the second floor in our department and find somebody working on something interesting. And that would be such a collaborative space as well. So I'd say thank you so much to the ED department for all the opportunities that it's given me and my batchmates and my fellow graduates. And thank you for this opportunity to speak here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prasad. I can see Ganesh Kulkarni. Would you like to say something?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, thank you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chetan, sir, for joining. I think joining the engineering design department would have been the best decision that I took, as we have we have a lot of courses which are like a kind of correlate to current technology, and we also have the 6-month internship where we get exposure to work with the industry and the current technology. So I took that opportunity, and it would help me a lot. So also we do have as we see engineering design department currently upgrading the courses, and also uh, like uh, im- uh, working towards the updated technologies. Uh, as I would like to ask the question to Chetan sir, what drives you to uh, instead of job to work for the company like own? It would have been startup, now it would have been a good company. So the more what are the things that motivates?
So Ganesh, correct me if I heard you. Are you saying what drove me to be an entrepreneur versus working somewhere? Is that what your question was?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I must say when I graduated, I worked my summers at automotive companies, and then when I graduated, I worked for 5 years for a company on electric mobility in the US. And so I also started working on the Reva a few years after I also got experience. It wasn't right out of college, and I think that it gave me a very good understanding of technology. It gave me an understanding of how to manage a business, how to run teams, and that was very helpful. So both work. I've seen kids coming out of college straight with great ideas. I would strongly recommend, if you're thinking on that direction, get yourself with like-minded people and with
Okay.
complementary skill sets. So that you all can form a team that you rely on each other. So if you're very good on technology, you don't want all 5 of you to be on tech, right? Get someone who can balance you guys to help you on the other side, because you need all of that for making your company successful, right? I do think it's good in the early days to work in organizations that you can learn a lot, and that's very important. because you can absorb a lot. And, out of college, I selected a small startup over a higher paying large company area. But I learned 10 times more, and that was my driver, because at early ages, I wanted to learn more, I wanted to do more on this area. Money was important, but it was more important for me to learn. And so I think it's for each of you all to figure out what it is. It could be a smaller company, it could be bigger if you want to be more stable, it could be an entrepreneurial journey. But it's worth experimenting for a few years to figure out what your interests are, and maybe out of that, the problem that you want to solve, and that could help you through your entrepreneurial side of it.
So like a changing phase from the job to the like as an entrepreneur, what are the like things you face like as in difficulties, challenges, and
Yeah, I felt it was very helpful for me to focus, and I mentioned that earlier, on my weaknesses. So, for example, I didn't know how to put a business case together. So I found someone who was very good at that, spent 3 weekends with them, helping me understand how to read a balance sheet, how to put a business case, and how to put everything in Excel. So I could present what it meant and what to look at, right? So I think it's a shift from saying, okay, you're a technologist, but you also need to do other things to make a business work, right? So it's about learning those pieces, going to organizations or groups that enable entrepreneurship so you can learn from them, and then have fellow mentors. Maybe you could help you in different areas as you look at it, to augment your, where you feel you need more support on. So creating that kind of ecosystem for yourself, and your universities also have entrepreneurship cells and everything, which can be very helpful in early days, which honestly weren't there maybe 20, 30 years ago, but today these are very prevalent, and you can also leverage them.
yep. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for that really nice piece of information. You need to learn more during this age than trying to earn more. I think that's very important information.
Well, I think the most important, and I mentioned it earlier also, is that how can we all contribute? You guys are probably the smartest, set of the top smartest people in the country. You graduate from the top universities. You're a handful of people, right? Do you want to go in and do gaming stuff, or do you want to solve problems for the country, right? You have an opportunity and a choice today, right? The country needs people who can solve problems, and so does the world, right? And I think the fulfillment you will get internally is so much higher when you actually are able to solve problems, and that's using your skills and this opportunity that you'll have had this area. So, I would strongly suggest it's always about what you're good at, what a company needs, and what society needs. And if these three things come together, people are very happy in what they do. So as you look at what you're trying to do, try and get those three to come together. That will really make, a person zing in whatever they do, and look at that. So.
Thank you. I can see Varun raise his hand. Varun, would you like to say something? Varun, he's not there. He's raised hand, but I don't. Okay, so I'll come back to him later. So before I ask others, let me have somebody from with a PhD or MS like to go. Safir Babu. Safir has just completed his PhD. You can see him. Okay, anyone else would like to speak, or you would like to have some questions, or you would like to give some comments, suggestions?
Great.
Actually, Chetan sir, I had a question more related to the EV industry. That was more of a curiosity on what you think. What do you see are some key trends in over the next 10 years? Do you see adoption going up in the EV industry? I've always wanted to talk to somebody who has in the industry about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's growing huge. Globally, it's growing, 50 to 70% year on year. I'll give you extremes. A market like Norway, 70% of all new cars sold are electric, right? They wanted to be 50% by 2025, and they have achieved 70% by 2021. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
In Germany, last month, 30% of all new cars produced were electric.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
China used to, 20 years ago, produce 40,000 electric vehicles a year. Last year, they produced 30 million.
Wow. That's
Electric, these are electric two-wheelers, not from scooters, right? Every bus in Shenzhen, which is 17,500 buses, is electric. That is more buses than Bangalore and Chennai and Delhi put together. Okay?
that's
So
pretty
as we
fascinating.
start to see what's happening globally, it is absolutely huge. India is a little bit late. But if you look at 3-4 things, our two-wheeler industry from last year has grown 300%, right? And the three-wheeler industry for deliveries in the last 4 months has gone from a couple of percent to 10%, right? And with the new policies in the country and everything, it's going to be huge. So it's inevitable that's going to happen. The question is at what curve we follow. You can follow a curve like Norway, which has hit its 70% already at this point, and other places. In India, I see two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and buses taking off, which constitute 85% of people movement in the country. 85% of the energy consumption, 85% of the pollution. So it's a big segment for us to look at, unlike the West, which is focusing on cars, right? And in the two and three-wheeler segment, bus segment, I think shared mobility will be very large, because in shared mobility, people use a lot of kilometers, and electrics make a lot more sense, right? But once people start to use electrics, it's hard to go back, right? And I think that that experience, when more and more people come, you'll see a big shift on this area. I've of course only driven electrics for over 25 years, so for me it's second nature. But I think that it's even for my kids who've honestly grown around how to plug in a car or a scooter and use it. And I think that this is going to happen. So it's the right industry to be in, because you want to be in a space that is growing 50 to 100% year on year for the next 10 years. In a space like this, you learn much, you have great professional opportunities, and you have great personal growth. And you're doing something for society and making a real impact on this area.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. So I hope you, Chetan, you know that this Ether scooter was actually the first prototype was built in
very much.
ED students. They
Yes.
built the first prototype in the ED lab.
I was with Tarun a couple of weeks ago, and they've done a wonderful job. So I hope to see a lot more of you all trying to shape the norm and become part of that.
Yes. So we are actually starting this electric vehicle specialization in master's program for ED students. So ED is actually prepared all the curriculum, and we are going to offer it from next July. And Dr. Srikantan is here with us. He is actually working in the electric vehicle power electronics part of electric vehicles. Srikantan, you would like to say something?
Thanks, Professor Ashok. And before that, congratulations to all the graduates today. And thanks especially to Mr. Chetan also, because as Professor Ashokan was talking, we had a course on automotive power electronics and drives, and that's going to become part of the core course for the graduate program starting next year. So thanks to you personally, because we invoke a lot of Reva's case studies, because when we discuss different kinds of motors, battery capacities, and peak torque and power ratings, we always make use of Reva as a case study. So thanks to you on that, how the different generations that Reva has gone through. In addition to that, we look forward to even our students and for them to do well and narrate to us their experiences in the outside world. And I hope to be in touch with you, Mr. Chetan, as well, for the course going forward. Maybe we will need some inputs from you on taking this into a little more deeper level.
Great. Very, very, very eager to support that in any ways we can. We've done some classes before, and we have some people who could be very supportive, and happy to do that in any ways to help that. Happy to work with your future groups for internships to give them experiences around electrics on this area. So in any ways to help the bigger picture of electric mobility, we'll be very keen to work with you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Professor Ashokan.
Yeah. So is there anyone else who I would like to? I don't see. Otherwise, I think Chetan also has got.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. All
Yeah.
the best to all of you all, and congratulations on this on your graduation. And thank you, Professor Ashokan, for coordinating everything. And hopefully, in better times, we get to meet in person. Take care.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. On behalf of the department or the institutes, I would like to thank Mr. Chetan for his time and then for spending time with us for interacting with the students. I thank all the students. Congratulate all of you for graduating from IIT Madras. And I wish all of you the best in the future and whatever endeavors you take up. So thank you all. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.